So this might not hold true for everybody else, but let me know what you think in the comments. In my opinion, two of the worst things to be is an attractive, intelligent man. Let me explain. Neither one is a bad thing to be, especially independently. But when you add them all together, things can get interesting. And so the reason why I say it's a problem is because of the way that people are going to interact with you and treat you. And for me, I started off with this in mind with women, right? Because in my personal experience, I've had women who were irritated or upset by my intelligence. I've had women who were irritated or upset or felt inferior or self-conscious by my attractiveness. Do I walk around telling people I'm smart or telling people to look at me or I'm cute? No. In fact, most of the time I'm thinking about something completely other than what I look like and what people are thinking about what I look like. And I'm never trying to prove to nobody how smart I am because who gives a damn? But I have literally heard verbatim out of women's mouths complaints about me being attractive. Now, this is really only going to come up if she's also attractive and used to being told how attractive she is. One thing that was an issue was just the fact she was used to people telling her how attractive and how pretty and how beautiful she was. She was also used to the difference between the men that she would date and how attractive they were and how attractive she was. And so she would just look at them and feel like she was doing them a favor because she was way prettier. And then when it comes to being the center of attention, she's paying more attention to how people are treating me than I'm paying attention. And she's realizing that people are looking at me a certain way. And she's looking around the room to see how many looks of interest she's getting. And if I was getting more looks of interest, she felt some type of way because she didn't feel as pretty as I was. I'm like, bruh, first off, I'm not looking around the room to see who's smiling at me. Second off, I don't think that just because I look good, you have to adhere to any certain ways of behavior or treat me any certain type of way. Treat me with respect and we'll be fine. And I came here with you. Fuck these other hoes. But really for me, it just made me start to think about it and realize how egotistical some people are and how they have to be the center of attention in order to feel as if they deserve to be in that space, and just how competitive some people are. I have never been with a partner that I was worried about how attractive they were compared to how attractive I was and how people were going to perceive that difference. I'm also a man and not a woman, so. Another problem with being extremely attractive, they're going to assume you have options on deck. You have options on deck, you know you have options on deck, and you're trying to use them to compete with all your other options. Really just breeds an air of insecurity and self-consciousness. Which I'm not faulting anybody for being self-conscious. We all are at some point in our lives. But as an attractive man, you have to pay attention for this insecurity and comparison early and make sure you're not fighting for a spot that you didn't even want or that you knew existed. Being the baddest bitch in the room, that is. And then two, the intelligence part of it. So, I've had women say, well, Charles, I'm sorry that I don't think that way. I'm not asking you to think any certain way. I'm just expressing my own personal thoughts and having a conversation. I literally had a girl tell me that she spends time away from me because when she's with me, it's tiring because she feels as if she has to speak a certain way and act a certain way. Just because she admires the level of integrity and intelligence that I personally speak with on a regular basis. And so she felt like if she was going to be in my presence, she had to exhibit the same level of vocabulary. Which is fine with me. I probably appreciated it. That is until I realized that it was just a facade she was putting on, and she was sitting there thinking for 60 seconds about the next sentence she was going to say, and at times just going silent because she didn't know how to take the thoughts she was having and put them into a sentence that she figured was intellectually up to par for me. Bitch, I don't give a fuck. I'm a rapper. I speak in Ebonics often. It just so happens that I'm a very intelligent person who had like a 3.8 GPA until my senior year when I failed math because my teacher was racist and I just stopped showing up and I didn't do the work. First time I ever got any grade lower than a C plus in my life. And a C plus was very rare. But yeah, so to sum all of this up, fellas, if you're attractive and you're also intelligent, just know that you might have difficulty finding your partner or finding a partner or finding a mate that actually gels with you. Because I hate to say this, and again, this is my personal experience. I understand that this does not pertain to all women. But in my personal experience and understanding, women are a little bit more self-conscious than us as men and a little bit more competitive than us as men. And they also look up to the person that they want to be with. Meaning, they might start trying to aspire or ascertain to be on the same level as you. And whatever, do you, boo-boo, that's fine. But the problem comes in when you're too self-conscious and too unconfident in yourself. Because you're just going to be comparing yourself to the person that you're supposed to be loving and then trying to figure out ways to undermine them and tear them down. And so for my attractive and intelligent men, you'll find yourself in situations and conversations and relationships with people who seem to be doing and saying a lot of things to destroy your character or to belittle you or to prove you wrong or to show you your faults. And this is all because they just put you on a pedestal and then they compare themselves to where they put you at and they feel some type of way. So instead of just acknowledging the things they admire about you, they now have to bring you down to a size they feel like they're on and something they can actually swallow. And before you become aware of the fact, you might do everything in your power to try to explain, to bridge the gap, to keep the peace, like whatever it may be that you think is going to keep a relationship intact and on a good path, you'll start doing it, including possibly even neglecting yourself. Stop that shit. If they cannot, one, meet you where you're at, and two, appreciate you for everything that is you, you don't need them. You don't need them. You don't need them. And this is why the Bible tells us to be equally yoked. And being equally yoked doesn't always mean being equals. Sometimes it's just having the understanding and the maturity to know there are things that this person does that I don't do. There are traits and characteristics that this person has that I don't have. But you both are confident and solidified in yourself and who you are and what you do have. So you can peacefully build and grow together. Teamwork, partnership. This is what relationships are about. But unfortunately, a lot of us are in competition these days. And a lot of us are in our feelings and feel inferior. And like there are things that we lack. So instead of improving upon ourselves, we'd rather find people that we think or feel are better than, above, or on a different level than us, and figure out a way to bring them down to our level so we can prove to them and to ourselves that they're not actually better. But the whole idea of someone being better than you starts in your own head when you start to profess that they are.